This was, dude, less than a year ago.
What are you doing?
Guys. That's not very to feel good about. And kids can't get enough of. Welch's Fruit Snacks.
Tombstones. It's a hobby. If our estate is open to the public only in the day.
Sorry, we didn't know. Well, I guess we'd better go. Well, good night.
Verschämt Touristen, die schnüffeln hier rum und geht sie gar nichts an.
Boy, that was close. Well, guess we got a piece of it.
Is this really gold?
Solid. Say, you came up with a little surprise yourself tonight, Stan, with that gun.
I don't like guns.
How do we get that box?
Don't worry, we'll get it. This is just a preview.
I'm for going in and letting those guys have it.
Knock off one of those guys and we never would make the frontier. Just let me handle this. We've got plenty of time. Besides, we've got to have this stuff melted down yet.
You got a man to do the casting?
Yeah, no guy named Schmidt. He's got a little foundry over on the Boomerstrasse. Used to cast gold monkey wrenches for refugees. Take a run out there tomorrow.
Where, oh where?
Looks good, eh?
Perfect.
Solid gold. Let me saw the paint chips off this. Won't the gold show through?
Oh, not paint. Lead. Makes it look like steel, no?
How much?
200 marks.
No, I mean for the whole thing. 200 pounds, maybe more.
5,000 marks.
5,000.
We'll give you 750.
750. Du bist verrückt.
750.
Of multiple witnesses from September of
Right out of thin
2023 claiming this happened.
It's a deal.
Multiple witnesses in America claiming this happened. Now, it didn't say if it was a freaking cult that ended up coming out with this information or what it is, but this is nuts. And that they actually, went so far as to develop a freaking composite sketch of the dang thing. It wasn't like they took the report and were like, okay, crazy people. They were like, well, we better make a sketch.
Oh, I go way back.
Somebody hire a sketch artist.
Besides casting gold,
Battlefield Boys, Area 51 isn't doing anything anymore. It has to.
Botox Cosmetics is a brand I trust and recommend for not only myself, but my patients.
I was excited to book another Botox Cosmetic appointment because it is tried and trusted and the only one FDA
is on some foreign soil somewhere, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, that's the thing. Can't make that one up. Here we have NASA photos from 1972. Apollo 17,
Patchy,
not joking.
yeah, sun is
Archived
out.
imagery from the Apollo 17 mission to the moon. Yellow box contains an enlarged area
We're a couple of occupation authorities.
It's
of
cool.
the
Yeah,
original
it's cool.
photo in which 3 lights are visible above the lunar terrain.
It'll work.
Well, let me do it right, you stupid website. You see the lights right here in the middle of the box. It's freaking wild.
Pretty nice. As a matter of fact,
Mideast from 2022. This is a still from their video. U.S. military operator reported as featuring UAP flying across their screen. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, literally right here. Y'all see that thing? And then you can see the vapor trail behind it. Look at this. So here you have, again, what the hell is it called? It's black hot imagery. Man, why am I thermal imaging? Why can I not think that? You can literally see it right here. It could be stars. So it could be stars. And that is one thing that people need to understand about some of these images. People have often asked, so here's the thing about the exposure up there, and I suggest you go and look this up, but notice how there's no other stars in the sky. So what happens is the cameras back then and the exposure. People are like, that can't be the lunar surface because there's no stars up there. The deal is that they have to turn the exposure way down, I think it is, or way up. I forget whichever it is. That basically turned the sky black. So that's why when you go back and you look at the photos from the moon landing and everything else, There's no stars in the sky. And that's one of the things about like the lunar landing that people get kind of weirded out by, is saying that there is no stars in the sky, therefore these are fake. That's literally what they've been saying. So when you guys are saying stars 100%, I want you to know that the resolution on the cameras was turned in such a way that there wasn't stars that were actually captured because of like brightness and all that other crap, right? It's literally the exposure. So for these to be the only 3 in the sky, that's what makes it so weird. And again, they're saying that they're above the surface. Uncle Krabby, our government is run by lizard people. But yes, I understand that you guys could look at that and you could go, oh, that's stars. But what you can't do is look at these ones and be like, oh, that makes perfect freaking sense. This is a flat object. Looking flat as hell. Vapor trail behind it, hauling butt across the screen. This is from the Middle East, May of 2022, and we're going to see if we can't find that video. This one is from the UAE, October of 23. See the object right here? That was kind of crappy. And that's the other one that we were just going over on the news. Unresolved UAP report Africa 2025. U.S. military operator reported UAP while operating within African airspace.
Came up before you had a chance to.
In 2020, U.S. Air Force reported UAP in the southern United States. And they go on and on. Look at this freaking crazy one. Indo-PACOM 2024.
That stuff in the box certainly looked real.
U.S. Indo-PAC Command reported UAP that resembles a football shaped body near Japan.
I don't know, it was quite a
All of this crap
He's practically
the military has been holding on to.
Remember what I told you. Just keep sparring.
Bullet Magnet. Watch Skinwalker Ranch coming up on May 19th. Dude, I have seen the old stuff from Skinwalker Ranch, which is crazy within itself.
Not even kidding.
Some of that stuff from Skinwalker Ranch and everything else, man, I don't even know what to do with, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't even know what to do with. Here's another one. Unresolved UAP report, Department of the Army 2026. U.S. Army reported UAP in North Africa. This is from this year. Whatever the hell that is.
How about getting dressed?
No freaking clue.
I'm not yet.
But we got him.
Well, we gotta find out what knife those guys.
Infrared still image, black hot, captured of unidentified object over western United States, December of 25.
Can't Frankie go by?
Mountains in the background. And just a random freaking object just hauling ass through our airspace. And look how low that thing is, man. If you really think about it. FBI photo 1. It's an FBI taking reports on this crap. And who do you think's capturing these images? Like, your hint is that the DoD is holding on to it. So this is likely near a military base where we have low-flying objects that are hauling butt. If you guys have ever seen Fort Carson, NORAD, etc., that's kind of what this reminds me of. But it could also be that this is out in the middle of frickin' New Mexico somewhere. Similar style terrain and all of that other crap. The truth is out there, ladies and gentlemen. We just don't know what it is. Look at this one. Infrared still image, black hot, captured of unidentified object over western United States in December of 25. What the hell? How does this even exist? You can find some wild stuff on here. Gas pack. Imagine what the aliens will think of us when they realize people move pouches. I sincerely hope, personally, it's not recommended. As a matter of fact, I'm telling you, don't do it. All you guys that are joking about boofing Bravo energy pouches, that if you ever get abducted by an alien, my hope is that when you get abducted, you have a boofed Bravo energy pouch, and it confuses the crap out of them. Steven Adams, Bravo flavor, purple boof juice. Maybe purple boof juice, maybe. There's another one. Back to the beginning. Let's go check out some of these other videos real quick of what they actually have up on the website. So you go down here and they have all of the release stuff. I believe I saw it was like page 7 is where it starts coming out. You guys can see some of the older stuff, and what I find really interesting is a lot of the stuff that they ended up releasing on this. As you go through the descriptions, you'll see Iraq, May of 22. A lot of it's Middle East as you go through all this stuff. Iraq, December of 22. Syria, February of 23. UAE, Greece, UAE, Iraq 24, Raven Gulf, Syria. So you've got a lot of these different ones that are out there. And then there are different reports that are coming around. A lot of them are also heavily redacted. I just want you to know. I looked at one of these earlier that was extremely redacted. Classification secret, 5-eye classification, which is freaking wild. Oh my gosh. Like, hey, is this any of you guys by chance? Maybe.
It's all there, just waiting for us.
Point of contact, rank A1C, and first lieutenant. Prover staff sergeant.
Like you said, Frank could have the same idea. Maybe I ought to phone
Aircraft.
him to make sure he's at the hotel.
Upon arrival to SP at 11:02, observed 3 ADMs and 1 moto in vicinity of SP from blah, 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 conducted POL at the SP and observed at nothing significant to retort. Received new.
Please, I don't understand.
Observed 1 vehicle, no further activity, conducted 3 follow-ups.
Hello. I want to speak to her, Daniel. Is he in?
There it is.
Okay, thank you.
Holy
He
cow.
says he doesn't want to be disturbed. And
UAP initial contact.
I guess maybe he's doing
UAP incident, lights glare, flash of unknown origin, flash across FMV camera feed, no change. Friendly aircraft altitude 20,000 feet. Friendly aircraft trajectory orbit. Benign assessment from the UAV. Friendly aircraft speed 144 knots.
They should find out what we're at.
No.
I got the answer to that.
UAP physical state plasma? What the hell?
Meet long shot stand.
UAP event serial number? Holy frick. Dude, we got 2015. 5-9 Zulu, October 2024. Dang, man. FOIA exemption. There you go. They literally have this put out underneath FOIA exemptions. Would you like to know? I saw light orbs in Cloudcroft, New Mexico. They are real. Oh yeah, Cloudcroft, dude, that's beautiful out there, by the way. And yes, they are real. Pat Lab says, whatever name you decide, throw operation at the start of it. Alright, we can do that. We can do that. Bravo flavor, yeah, we talked about the purple boof juice. Yeah. I think I'm caught up. Tom Bones, just so y'all know, X-Files are a real thing in the FBI. It's anything that can be considered paranormal in nature, UFOs, etc. Well, that's good to know. And this line is probably one of the craziest ones about this, is that they just have it as a FOIA exemption. UAP anomalous characteristics, light glare from unknown origin, flash across FMV camera, aircrew assessed this not to be a lazy event, so that's good. Description, uneven ball of white light, misshapen and uneven ball of white light. They said its shape was plasma. Wouldn't you like to know? Shot up in space and back down in the blink of an eye. Yeah, that's a thing, man. I actually saw that when I was a kid, up in the mountains of Oregon, standing around watching them freaking buzz around the freaking sky. Yeah. Yep. Observe multiple glares of light from unknown origin at different angles and directions at 15:59 Zulu, 16:02 Zulu, and at 16:44. So this event took about an hour. Observed 1 light glare crossing directly on the FMV camera. 16:09 Zulu and 16:20 Zulu observed a light glare halo effect on the top of the FMV feed. Aircrew considered this no mission impact or change, and UAP was benign. Freaking benign, my ass. They're here, man. They're doing something insane. Come on. Absolutely freaking nuts. Absolutely nuts. Check out another one. Check out Uno Mas, shall we? Let's go over to 7.
Hold it, Sam. You drive. I'll get in the back.
Range Fowler debrief form. Please complete this form to the best of your ability. If you do not have the requested information, please leave blank. This information is for contact only. Spear sanitizes all reports of identifying information. Well, that's good. Describe the contact and interaction in your own words with as much detail as possible. Blank observed 3 by possible unidentified small air contacts while conducting routine operations in the North Arabian Sea. Negative ES, radar track, and IFF track. Distance to contact was unknown. Speed of contact was unknown. Precise course of contact was unknown, but appeared to be on a westerly heading. No interaction took place between the person and the unknown air contacts. Initially observed 1 by unknown air contact and tracked it before losing sight as it went behind a cloud. The contact on the unknown air contact was regained. 2 by additional air contacts were seen due east of the location of the initial contact. All 3 unknown air contacts appeared to maintain their relative course, speed, and altitude. Don't use the purple submit button. Jeez, man.
You don't have to alibi for me.
I'm not alibying for you, honey. I'm just trying to make
They're making the frogs gay. Yeah, they are. Hell yeah, they are, man. Another one from the Gulf of Aden.
Okay, right.
Persian Gulf. Ooh, what do we got here? Took off from OKS, handed over from the LRE, blah, 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 collected SIGINT via air handler, blah, 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 in vicinity of Arabian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, and Gulf of Oman. Observed noteworthy activity. See observation line 1 was cleared to RTB. Okay. Cover up the mission type.
Johnny? All ready to go? Okay, I'll meet you down in the lobby. Frank?
Was hailed on guard by Iranian air defense. Orders given. Standard call. Response. Standard response. No impact on the mission. Observed 1 by, there it is. Observed 1 by UAP. Grid location, which they redacted. Whoa! Look at that. 0852. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta take this phone call. I apologize. It is important. It's for my answer.
What about you?
Great. Be with you in a minute.
Okay. You tell me that those guards are going to be off on Friday night?
Yeah, 2 other guys are replacing. Jody, about ready? Hey, wait till you see what I got. Take a look at my wallet. I think it's there on the dressing. Got it? Good for you? I went over to Schmidt's to have him make up some phony official badge, and he had that. He's making one up for you, too. I don't know if it looks like the McCoy or not, but it'll do to flash on those guards. Look, when we get out there Friday night, we just tell the new guys we're on a security check, see? And if they hang around, just tell
Everything is so expensive. Now Susan Collins voted to support Trump's war in Iran, driving up gas prices. Now it's costing me an extra $30 every time I fill the tank on this truck. Tell Susan Collins, stop supporting Trump's wars.
let them have it.
By the time I was 11, I had been a refugee twice. My family had been forced to abandon our home and seek refuge in different lands. As a child, I remember playing in the bomb craters of a city ravaged by war and wearing worn and ill-fitting clothes that others perhaps considered as not especially fashionable. Since we came from different areas, others of my age sometimes ridiculed me because of my accent and made fun of me because I didn't fit in. I can understand the hardship many of you are enduring. It is no accident that I'm speaking to you in front of these miraculous machines that have the capacity of defying gravity, climbing higher and higher, and soaring onto new horizons. When I was a young man wondering what path I should take, I found myself at the outskirts of the Frankfurt airport in Germany, watching airplanes take off and land with amazing grace and precision. How I wanted to sit in the cockpit of one of those beautiful flying machines.
First
President Trump has had very harsh language and words for against the backdrop of the war in Iran.
Be right back.
So whatever you do. Don't look metal, Frank. There's a soldier sitting behind us that's been staring at you ever since we came in.
Jake. Wait a minute. Hi, Jake! Frankie! Well, I'm a son of a gun. Are you still here?
You know, I thought this joint fell quality.
What are you doing in Frankfurt? Oh, strictly a tourist this time. Still living off the taxpayers, huh?
What else?
Come on, I want you to meet the family.
The family. You didn't take the dive, did you?
No. Joni, I want you to meet a page out of my past. Mike Jankowitz. My kid sister, Joni. You remember me telling you about it?
Well, 10 years is a long time ago. How are you, Miss,
Daniel.
Well, sit down, you big buck. Say, you must be pretty handy with the German now, huh?
Jawohl, mit Laus.
Oh, this is Stan Fabian. Stan, shake hands with Jake.
Hi, Stan. Sit down, sir.
Well, tell me, Jake, what are you doing now?
Well, I've got the Rhine-Main re-enlistment office at headquarters.
Re-enlistment? Oh, leave it to that boy Jank to get a soft touch.
You look like you're doing all right yourself. Taken in Europe as a tourist?
No, strictly as a guest. You see, Stan and Joni are getting married, and I'm a witness. All expenses paid.
Ham sandwich at the banquet, huh?
That's right.
Listen, what does a guy do for excitement around here?
Well, you certainly come to the right party. Young man, let me point out a few of the benefits of re-enlisting.
Strictly as a civilian, bud.
Yeah, there goes my commission. Well, I better be getting back to the table. Well, the Fräulein thinks I'm stickling with the tab. See you later.
None.
And you big apple knocker. Yes. Honey, you good old Texas to cup, huh?
Oh, million of them.
See you later.
Right. Oh, what a character, that guy. You know, if we'd have had a couple of thousand more like him, we'd have lost the war. Honestly, that guy has more angles for turning a fast buck.
Fine. Can we go?
Yeah.
It is a perfect duplication. You will notice I polished the edges to take off the newness.
Herr Schmidt, you're a real artist.
Yeah, that looks real, all right.
How much?
Oh, it is very risky.
No, never mind the build-up. How much?
400 marks?
Okay.
Now, these are the tools from the car we bought.
Sink, eh? I will have the molds ready when you get here.
Well, we may bring it late tonight. Is that all right?
Oh, at night is better.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Now, the guards hang out in this tech room in the stable back of the chateau. Just walk in, flash our badges, and tell them we're investigating a black market operation.
Suppose they fall to the cemetery.
Just tell them to scram.
And suppose they don't?
Then, I follow your suggestion. What's with this fence?
We on the right road?
Sure we are. Wait a minute. I don't get it.
This can't be the right road.
Well, there's only the one road.
What do you suppose it means?
Maybe it's just temporary. Sit tight and I'll find out. Hi. Isn't this the Von Reimer estate?
Yes, sir.
This fence is something new, isn't it?
Yes, sir. The Air Force is taking the place over as an experimental base.
When did that happen?
It's last Wednesday, sir.
Any chance of, going through the place? We're Americans.
Sorry, sir. Not unless you get a permit signed by the commanding officer in Frankfurt. But I doubt if you'll get one, sir.
Well, thanks. Thanks very much.
All right, genius, got an answer for that one?
Don't worry, we'll get in there soon.
All right, we get our brains splattered all over the graveyard. A lot of good that's going to do us.
I know we're in a tight squeeze, but I'm not giving up, not by a long shot. Too much invested. 10 long years I've been sweating this thing out. I'm going to get that stuff and nothing's going to stop me, nothing.
How about Jody? How's she going to take us?
Look, just don't tell her. Say we went out there and the same guys were on duty. They never changed the guards. Go out there tomorrow and take a look at the layout. I'll come up with some idea.
I'm sick of your ideas. I gotta get my hands on that box. Everything depends on it. Everything.
What's the matter, Stan? The way you're acting, you think the whole thing was a flop. If the guards aren't off this week, they'll be off next. Frank will have the information.
Yeah, I'm just a little anxious. I mean, that's all.
It isn't as if we didn't know the gold was there. We saw it. What a lovely place for a honeymoon. Look. Picture it. Bad Gasty. What a name.
Yeah. He's Frank, anyway. Well?
Good news, but I'm afraid it's going to take a little time. First of all, you couldn't get into that place if you were Eisenhower.
What do you mean?
Sorry, I didn't want to tell you, but the Air Force has taken over the Von Reimer estate. They put a wire fence around that like it was a POW camp.
Oh, no.
They're putting up a lot of barracks and stuff, but so far they haven't gotten into the cemetery at all.
I know it's the good news.
Well, I got an idea on the way back. Remember my friend Jankowitz, the sergeant we met at Woodsy's?
You mean you let him in on it?
Let him in on nothing. Remember he was kidding us about that re-enlistment pitch? Well, I found out they're doing some ground experiments on Sabre jet turbines out there. Well, I worked on turbines at North American in L.A. last year. Now, with Jank being in recruiting and with him knowing that I want to stay over here for a while, it wouldn't throw him too much if I told him I want to enlist in the Air Force again.
You think he could get you assigned to this new base?
Well, with my experience on the Sabre and Jank's drag, I think of a cinch.
How are you going to get the stuff out?
Well, smuggle it out a couple of pieces at a time. Shouldn't take too long.
Frank, maybe you got something.
What do you do, Frankie? Stay in the Army?
You kidding? Once I've liberated the stuff, it's over the hill and onto the Riviera.
That's desertion.
Oh, isn't that terrible? After what happened in Chicago.
Don't have to worry about Frank, baby.
I'll go up and see Jank this afternoon. You better go with me, Stan. I might need a witness for identification or something.
Why should we wait this afternoon? Why don't we go now?
Right.
Fine.
Is this a little beyond the call of duty?
Don't worry, I've got it all figured out.
You know, it's sure one for the books, Frank.
Well, Joni decided she wanted to go home after the wedding, and Stan here with the ring in his nose says, okay. So I figured, what's wrong with signing for hitch and letting off a Sam pay the freight? They still give guys leave, don't they?
Why, sure. And having connections with the right people, you can always wangle a little extra.
That's what I figured. Sarge?
Sign right there, Frank.
Okay. Well, Stan, see you in 3 years.
Well, all you gotta do now is take a physical, raise your right hand, and you're in. Well, strip down to the waist. I'll be back in a few minutes.
I noticed they made an experimental base out of the old Von Reimer estate out there.
Yeah, I just set it up a few days ago.
Now, Jank, that'd be pretty good beauty out there. Oh, I don't claim to be an aeronautical engineer, but I do know what makes the little wheels go around, and I've had some experience on turbos, too.
Probably could use a guy like you. Might even get your rating.
Hey.
Oh, Doc, I got a live one for you.
Oh, hiya, Doc.
Well, Jank, you got your quota for the week, I see.
No trouble at all, sir. He just walked in here all by himself.
Doesn't look as though there's anything wrong with you. Have a chair.
Kind of brings back memories. You know, if I wasn't getting married,
Well, we've got married men in the service, too. Blood pressure normal.
He doesn't know Joni.
She'd wrap her propeller around his skull.
Take a deep breath.
I don't know. Once again. Anything wrong, Doc? I'm afraid you're not going to make it, young man. What do you mean? I go with you, see, Doc, as long as they can walk, you know. You've got a pronounced heart murmur. Doc, I've never had anything wrong with me in my life. Have you had a cardiogram taken recently? No, but nothing to worry about. There's lots of people walking around with heart murmurs. But as for getting in the armed services, no medical examiner will ever pass you. I'm sorry, Mr. Daniel. What about all the dough you got invested? You want to protect it, don't you?
About the money I spent, forget it. I'm not enlisting.
Oh, it's all right if I go ahead and enlist, but with you it's different, huh?
I said forget it. Don't you suggest it in front of Joni.
Wait till you see what I bought. Is there something wrong?
I didn't pass the physical.
You didn't what?
He's got a bad heart.
What the evening finds its perfect finish. Naomi.
Looks like the show's over, John.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea and a drive to bring it to life. Describe what you want and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one to platforms ready for many. From passion projects to enterprise-grade systems. Everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new world of creation, where you can go as far as your imagination takes you. Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream a reality, right now.
What kind of things?
Joni, there's no sense arguing.
Oh, yes, there is. He's got reasons not to do it. What's the matter with the reason to do it? Me.
Did you know that motorcyclists are 27 times more likely to die in a motor vehicle crash than passenger vehicle occupants? Motorcycles can be hard to see. We need to look twice to save a life. Let's watch for motorcycles and share the road. Please remember to leave extra room when following motorcycles. And to check in your rearview mirrors and blind spots. And to be extra careful when making left-hand turns. Remember, your actions can save lives. The Maine Bureau of Highway Safety reminds you to look twice to save a life.
That we blew up. It could be fuel that's burning on the water, but we don't know. We don't have any better imagery of that, and so I just wanted to point that out, because if you see that on social media, that this proves that U.S. Navy just lost a destroyer. Yeah, not likely. Not likely at all. Okay, so that was 2. Okay. Now next, I wanted to show you a couple videos from Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Rubio went to Italy and met with the Pope. That, by some accounts, went well, and by other accounts was humiliating for Rubio. But Rubio put a brave face on it anyway. And then he gave, he met with Giorgia Meloni, and that was apparently cordial and friendly, even though the United States has spent the last year bashing all of our NATO allies. And I think
President Trump might be realizing that if we need a smooth talker who is genuine and well-informed and is not going to, make everybody that is supposed to be our ally hate us, stop sending Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff and start sending Marco Rubio. So, but Rubio gave a press conference after he met with the Pope, and he said a bunch of things that are relevant to today's story. So, first thing is, he said that, look, he tried to make very clear that Epic Fury is over. No more Epic Fury. It's all done. Somebody says NATO is useless. Well, whoop.
It's a souvenir wedding.
There you go. NATO is useless. Actually, if you look at what just happened with Project Freedom, that we had aircraft forward deployed, and that enables us to project power into the Strait of Hormuz and protect our ships in there. Imagine how hard it would be to protect our ships in the Strait of Hormuz if we had to fly aircraft from the United States every time. Because we have bases in other countries around the world, we are able to project power to places around the world. So NATO is important to us because we have bases in Europe. And if you're one of those people that's like, we just protect them and they don't do anything for us, well, you don't understand NATO. You just don't. Do some more reading on that. I'm not going to get deep into it because I've already covered this many times. People who normally watch the show already understand where I'm going with that. But NATO's a standards organization, and they provide us with a lot of jobs because they buy a lot of stuff from the United States. So there's that. So as you say, they're worthless. How can they be worthless if 40,000 jobs in the United States rely on NATO? How can that be worthless? I think you're wrong. Okay.
Your hair to its fullest power.
Operation Epic Fury was over. Given all these military actions of it missing on the ground, what does over mean entirely? Operation Epic Fury was an offensive operation designed to destroy the missile launches, their Navy, their Air Force, and it achieved that, and their factories, and it achieved that. What you saw yesterday was U.S. destroyers moving through international waters being fired upon by the Iranians, and the U.S. responded defensively to protect itself. That's what you saw. That's separate and distinct from Operation Epic Fury. What if you fire a drone or a missile at our destroyer? What are we supposed to do? Let it hit it? We have to respond to it. We have to knock down the missile. We have to knock out whatever it is that launched that missile. The alternative is to let it sink one of our ships. That's crazy. So of course we responded to it.
So that's kind of a non sequitur because if you didn't hear the reporter's question, it was. You keep saying that Epic Fury is over, but we keep seeing Iran shooting at us, shooting at our Gulf allies, and we're shooting back. What does over exactly mean? Because this doesn't look like it's over. And his answer was, well, they shot at us. Are you saying we shouldn't shoot back? And, well, no, nobody's making that case. Nobody's saying that we shouldn't shoot back. What we're saying is, there's still shooting happening. And so, if this isn't Epic Fury, what is it? And the answer from the Trump administration is that, well, this is Project Freedom, a humanitarian project that we're undertaking, which skirts the issue because Epic Fury was a military operation that was subject to the War Powers Act, and then they reached a 60-day time limit, and they stopped that operation. Now they're trying to continue military operations under the guise of humanitarian operation, which it is. I mean, it's both. And that helps them avoid the conflict with the U.S. Congress over the War Powers Act. So I get it. But he's not answering the question really that the guy was asking. Now, the next reporter followed up on that and tried to pin him down.
Was U.S. destroyers moving through international waters being fired upon by the Iranians, and the U.S. responded defensively to protect itself. That's what you saw.
I'm trying to assure myself so
I mean,
that I
that's
reassure my readers.
separate and distinct from
Like me,
Operation
I'm
Epic
a little
Fury.
bit weary of the fact that anybody with a price to hire Reagan for
If you fire a drone or a missile at our destroyer, what are we supposed to do? Let it hit it? We have to respond to it. We have to knock down the missile. We
So
have to
listen
knock
to
out
this
whatever
next
it is
question.
that launched that missile. The alternative is to let it sink one of our ships. That's crazy. So of course we responded to it.
The point is, if there's not much seasoning in the firing,
There's not much seasoning in the firing.
Don't ask me. We didn't fire. They fired on us. My point is, if you fire at a U.S. Navy ship, what are we supposed to do? Say, oh, there's a ceasefire. We're not going to shoot down your drone. That's a stupid question. That's a stupid position to take. Of course we fired back at them. They were shooting at us. That's what I would expect to do. Only stupid countries don't shoot back when you're shot at. And we're not a stupid country.
So, again, he's saying, well, of course we would shoot back at them. And I didn't get from the reporter's question that he was questioning that.
Are you accusing Jim Regan of unethical practice?
The jury's still out on that, but
Sort of dodges the point, which is, what is this that we're actually in right now? Are we still in a war with Iran? It sure looks like it. Iran keeps shooting at us. Now we're choosing not to shoot back. I think that frustrates Americans more than this whole war powers thing by a long shot. Because Americans are like, why are we just letting them shoot at us and we're not absolutely crushing Iran right now? Now, we did fire back last night. We hit Bandar Abbas and we hit a couple other ports on Keshem Island and other places. So we did extract a price for them for doing that. But that is not enough for most Americans. Most Americans want to see this thing ended once and for all. Ended.
That's not true.
You
knew when you came to us, Vincent. The
now,
note first caller, Mr. Regan,
let's see, that was...
any guarantee that he personally will appear in court and try the case. Like everybody else, you retain the third James E. Regan, not the...
Okay, that was a stupid question. Now, they asked about the talks. And President Trump keeps saying this phrase. He has these phrases that he likes to harp on, like, we sunk their whole Navy, we blew up their whole Air Force. We keep saying that, like, that's not relevant, really, because we haven't defeated them. What's the big idea? So we can blow up every ship in their Navy, but we haven't defeated Iran or the IRGC. But President Trump, here's another one of those talking points that he harps on a lot.
Very well, but they have to understand, if it doesn't get signed, they're going to have a lot of pain. They're going to have a lot of pain. They want to sign it, I will tell you. They want to sign it a lot more than I do.
Okay, so they want to sign it a lot more than I do. Then why don't they sign it? If they actually, the Iranians are just begging to sign this deal, and President Trump's going, nah, I don't really want to sign it.
Yours is an easy face to remember.
Well,
I won't forget.
What? I don't get it.
And you can tell your boys.
What's stopping them
if he should ever get hurt
from signing?
Or anything like that.
So this is, again, kind of one of those ways where, President Trump is trying to shape the narrative. That's what politicians do. Okay, we'll give that to him. But if you really think about it, it doesn't make sense at all. If they want to sign it and we want them to sign it, then why isn't it signed? And why isn't the thing over?
Go back inside and have some.
I think that's what you want to hear, fellas. What you want to hear, a different tone. It's the only thing they understand. They don't understand it. We had 3 world-class destroyers go through the strait today. Any other country, under the circumstances, wouldn't have shot missiles at it and drones at it. And these stupid boats that came at it, they got blown away in about 2 minutes. Their tanker got blown. You know what we did with the tanker? We didn't want to create an environment, so we shot out the rudder, and the tanker's going around, spinning around in circles. They should not have done that today. We thought they might. We didn't know, but we were prepared. They shot missiles. Every missile was knocked down. Every drone was knocked down, and the people that shot it are no longer with us.
Okay, so tough talk. That's good. and I think everything he said there was true. Then he goes on to answer a question about, well, what happens if they don't sign? And before that, back to Marco Rubio for a minute. He was also asked about these negotiations, and here's what he said.
Can you give us the official update on the final status of negotiations with Iran?
Well, we should know something today. I mean, we're expecting a response from them. We'll see what the response entails. The hope is it's something that it can put us into a serious process of negotiation. Obviously, we've seen the reporting overnight that Iran has established or trying to establish some agency that's going to control traffic in the Straits. That would be very problematic. That would actually be unacceptable. We're the normalizing of their control of international waterways, both illegal and it's just something that's unacceptable. And the world has to start asking itself, what is it willing to do if Iran tries to normalize control of an international waterway? I think that's unacceptable. So, but we're expecting a response from them today at some point. We have not received that yet, as in the last hour, but perhaps that will come. Their system is still highly fractured and a bit dysfunctional as well. So that may be serving as an impediment. I hope it's a serious offer. I really do.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's going to be a serious offer because here's what the Iranians are putting out. Again, I translate this stuff to English rather than just put subtitles on it. So please refrain from claiming that this is AI. This is actual report from Iranian TV translated to English.
A few minutes ago, some reports indicated that the sound of an explosion was heard near Kesh. Following these reports, an informed military official announced that after the aggressive US military encroached on an Iranian oil tanker, the enemy's encroaching units were targeted by Iranian missiles near the Strait of Hormuz, and after sustaining damage, they were forced to flee.
Okay, so that doesn't sound like they're ready to come to the negotiating table at all. Also, the Iranians put out a photograph of a meeting between the Ayatollah Moqtada Khamenei, who has not been seen since this war began. We know that he's badly injured and unable to speak, they believe, so he has to communicate just with written notes and stuff. But they put out a photograph of him meeting with the foreign minister Aragachi yesterday, and here's that photo. Now, you tell me what's wrong with this picture. I can see a couple things wrong with it, but you tell me what's wrong. I mean, I'm interested if you can notice the tells that this is an AI generated image. What do you think?
It certainly is. That's me in the middle, shaking hands with Mr. Bilbrook, the owner of Fashion Mode. If you don't...
I got to give you a few seconds before I can see your responses. Okay, yeah, somebody said, I heard he doesn't, yeah, he has his limbs. Right. Well, I don't...
Your Honor, the defense counsel will confine his questions to the issues involved.
No, it's too clean. How many of you noticed that there's a photograph hanging on the curtains in the background? That's kind of a strange place to put a photograph of the former Ayatollahs right there. Also, if you look closely at Aragachi's hands, they're not rendered quite right. And there is a ring on the, if you zoom in on the Ayatollah's hand, there's a ring that's incorrect, et cetera, et cetera. So you can figure out whether or not these things are real. I mean, even the fact that the chair that the Ayatollah's in is lower than the chair that the foreign minister is in, and they're the exact same chairs, should tell you something. I mean, so there's a lot of stuff like that. Absolutely fake photograph.
Now, in Mr. Waterman's own words, Ford was Cheney, all right. I'd have known.
All right, so
now I think it should all agree that Mr. Waterman,
let's see here,
an eager citizen, if there ever was one, couldn't recognize.
We're expecting a response. Oh, now President Trump said was asked, well, what are you going to do if they don't sign an agreement? And here's what he said about that.
No ceasefire. You won't have to know. If there's no ceasefire, you're not going to have to know. You're just going to have to look at one big glow coming out of Iran.
Who staged this whole thing?
one big glow coming out of Iran. That's great. So I hope he lives up to that. I hope he will actually do it. It's really sad and embarrassing as an American to see how President Trump is being mocked by allies and adversaries alike, by Americans all across the country who are calling him Taco Trump because he's chickening out. He's not following up with the ultimatums that he keeps giving to Iran. He's allowing Iran to fire at will at 3 countries, at least 4.
I mean,
Probably.
he's
4 or
not
5.
being a bitch like Butch.
During this ceasefire in the last
pretty
month.
much.
And
Remember the whole Lyme
we keep
disease
saying, no,
thing with
ceasefire's
Bush?
still holding. Ceasefire's still holding. We've got a ceasefire. How is this a ceasefire?
Well, I
if
agree
the
with you.
Iranians
So I
are
repeated it. I might even make a
shooting
comment.
rockets? Not just a couple. We're talking about close to 50 or more just at the UAE. So people are saying Nacho, not a chance Hormuz opens. Well, the longer this goes on, the longer it will take for it to return to normal. And people are trying very hard to criticize President Trump over the fact that criticize President Trump over the fact that gasoline prices are up over $4 a gallon. But don't forget that under Joe Biden, gas prices got above $5 a gallon. And I found this clip today where right after the war started in Ukraine, Joe Biden was asked about the spike in the price of oil and how long it would last. Listen to what he said.
Prices up, they could go as high as $200 a barrel, some analysts think. How long is it fair to expect American drivers and drivers around the world to pay that premium for this war?
As long as it takes.
As long as it takes.
From CeraVe,
So
gentle
Biden,
hydrating hair care, free from
actually,
pollen
you
and allergens. Feel hydrated
gas, I'm
for
not saying it's his fault because it's not his fault that Russia attacked Ukraine. But he said, look, we're just going to have to see this through as long as it takes. And now people are freaking out that President Trump is essentially saying the same thing. Next, let's see here.
Royal King.
Happy here Starmer has lost badly in local elections. Oh, that's great, PC. Very glad to hear that. What a weenie that guy is. So somebody just donated more for Oscar's trip. Thank you for that, $20. I appreciate that. We're going to make sure Oscar makes it to Armenia with us this year, one way or another. So we're just coming up on 40 minutes, so let's go over to our questions and start taking questions here. First question, do you think Trump may have been flippant because he recognized Iran baiting him and the flippant words were for Iran, not Saudi? I don't think he meant to infer that the fact that the Gulf states were being struck by Iran was no big deal. When you look at what he actually said, we showed the video of it a few days ago, what he actually said was in relation to the strikes on American assets, like the 2 ships that went into the Persian Gulf. And he said, yeah, they were just pea shooters. It's not a big deal. It's like that. And he said the same thing last night after that major firefight with the 3 ships that went back out of the Strait of Hormuz. And then we struck back and struck, targets. And reporters said, hey, that's breaking the ceasefire, isn't it? And he said, no, it's just a love tap. And we call that a love tap. But I think the point he's trying to make is, look, it could and very well might get a whole lot worse if Iran doesn't come around. I don't think anybody at this point, if President Trump went back to full-scale conflict against Iran, could make the case that Trump didn't give peace a chance. If that's what he's trying to do, is just give peace a chance. All right, you check that box, President Trump. Now, get back to killing. Because you're going to have to end this, and the longer we wait, the harder it's going to be. So, next, won't destroying tankers permanently take that oil flow off the market, meaning prices are not going to come back down quickly, like Trump says? Very good point, St. Enriquez. Yes, I think the short answer to that question is yes, because the slowdown has already caused over 100 tankers globally to be sold off for scrap because they're just there's not enough business for them anymore, and it costs money to keep them at sea, and if they aren't making money, then they're just, all right, time to get rid of those. Those 100 tankers are not going to come back anytime at all. I mean, we have to get new tankers, and that takes years to build. So I think this could absolutely result in higher prices going forward for a matter of years at this point, probably the rest of President Trump's presidency. And so, in for a penny, in for a pound. President Trump, look, you're not going to put that genie back in the bottle. Just get after it and get the job finished. That's what will make Americans stand up and cheer. If you want to save the midterms, and you know that you can't do it by making prices go back down, the best way to save the midterms is to give Americans something to unite around and cheer for. And believe me, the vast majority, 70-80% of Americans, want to see Iran decimated. Next, what would it take to bring about regime change in Iran? Could there be any conglomeration of ground troops sent in to make this happen? There was a...
But forgetting the closeness of Mr. Reagan and myself, may I point out the inadvisability of...
What do you call those, spaces on X? It's kind of like a live on X, only it's audio. Yesterday, and they had a bunch of analysts on there. My friend Matt Tardio was on there, and one of the analysts was talking about the Kurds, and that the Kurds have 10,000 fighters that they could deploy, and they are willing to do so, but so far they say they have been told to stand down by the United States. And so this claim that we gave a bunch of weapons to the Kurds and they kept them doesn't pass muster if the United States is telling these Kurds not to go in. Now these guys, a lot of them are in Iraq right now, and Iraq is working very hard to keep them from crossing into Iran, for trying to force them back away from the border areas. And so, you know, I don't know. I've detailed many times the difficulties in getting weapons into the hands of the right people in Iran. This goes all the way back to the Iran-Contra scandal, when Oliver North was assisting Israel in offloading some of its surplus small arms. Then, through a intermediary, an arms dealer in Lebanon, they transferred those arms to dissident factions inside Iran. And I guarantee you that now, 30, 40 years later, those weapons are still around, many of them, because weapons are durable and fungible. So this is an ongoing problem, but if you get weapons into Iran, you have to get them to the right people, make sure the IRGC doesn't pick them up. Then you just ended up arming your enemy, and you have to train those people how to use weapons. And they're coming out with video trainings right now that they're trying to beam into Iran so that people can watch a video training on how to use a weapon. I just saw one of those the other day. So this is not just an easy cut and dry. Oh, well, just get some weapons in there, and then it's over. It's very complex, very difficult to do. Next.
Good night.
If those ships made it through, would we seriously let them just fill up with oil? Well, that was what they were hoping. I mean, like I say, it shows that Iran is desperate, that they're risking their own Ghost Fleet tankers like that to try to get more storage space. There are other tankers in the Persian Gulf right now that are full of Iranian oil floating around in there, and we haven't destroyed those. Destroying an oil tanker full of oil is going to make a massive ecological disaster. And so once they're full of oil, we're probably not going to blow that ship up. We might just try to disable it, but the ones that they're filling with oil are tankers that had already been slated to be junked and had to be towed into place to get filled up with oil. So there's nothing to disable on that thing. It's just floating around out there, and it's not going to make it out of the Strait of Hormuz ever. They're just storing oil, and then they'll transfer it to another ship at some point if they can. Okay, next. They're trying to set the strait on fire. I don't believe so, but let's hope they don't. During the war against Kuwait, back the first Gulf War, the Iraqis pumped oil into the Kuwaiti desalination plants and wrecked those things for a long time. You understand, there's a lot of desalination that takes place around the Strait of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf, and if they got a big oil slick in there, it's going to put everybody out of water, and it's also going to affect Iran. So I think Iran has a vested interest in not creating that. Why not use small boats to protect tankers? Because small boats cannot protect tankers from drones and missiles. We need something that can shoot down drones and missiles to protect the tankers. Next.
Nice to see you, Jim. Wait a minute.
Why in the jello is Trump not hitting Russia with more sanctions? I don't know. I wish he would. I mean, really, that is like, enough is enough, President Trump. They just murdered like 25 people in Ukraine the other day. They hit a kindergarten, for Pete's sake.
I'll give it to you straight.
How can we, and this is a daily occurrence for Russia, to say nothing of the damage they've caused to their own country. Next question. Why has NASA hidden photographs and transcripts of the Apollo missions until it was just released today? Well, was that released with all those UFO files? Maybe. Maybe it's because they were classified. I mean, the military classifies all kinds of weird stuff. There's an island off the coast of Panama.
Whether you're thinking of building a playset, planting a tree, or putting in a fence, first consider what is under your feet. A whole network of utility lines and pipes run underground, delivering water, power, natural gas, and other services to your area. A rupture to any of these pipes could be very costly and potentially dangerous. Make sure to call DigSafe at 811 at least 3 working days before breaking ground. DigSafe contacts your local utilities and notifies them to mark where the underground lines and pipes run around your project zone. You must wait until all the marks are made, respect, and maintain the marks. So remember to call DigSafe at 811. It's not only smart, it's the law. Safety puts people first, and a call to DigSafe now sets you up for a lot of good, fun later. This safety message is brought to you by your neighbors at Unitil. Visit unitil.com/safety for more.
Fantastic. Thank you, President Trump. Next. Agreed, Chuck. Why is the Marco being allowed to be involved in these negotiations? Because I don't really think there are negotiations. That the stipulations that are being, or the conditions that are being set out by both parties are so far apart, you can't call that negotiations. They're not even close. They're mutually exclusive, is what they are. So I don't think there are any real negotiations with Iran. Next.
Get me out of this thing.
NATO is weak. NATO bases are extremely valuable. Chuck, don't confuse NATO. What? Go back to NATO. What? Okay. Don't confuse NATO soldiers with European governments. NATO is not weak. NATO represents 60% of the combat power on planet Earth. So NATO is not militarily weak. The European countries might be weak. Their leadership certainly are weak. Bunch of weenies. And
something's come up.
So I think maybe you have that backwards. If I understand what you're trying to say, yes, the European countries definitely are weak and useless, more or less, damaging to their own national interests. And NATO is strong. Now, we're having some problems with NATO because we've been spitting in their faces for a year. So what would you expect? And look, Marco Rubio made a point in this same press briefing I've been showing you clips from about this that was probably the best argument for why we're having a hard time trusting NATO. So I want to give him credit for that. This is something that the way he put it, it actually makes sense to me. Even though I believe we should stay in NATO, I think NATO is very valuable for us as a nation, for our national security, for our hegemony. But what he said was, look, if you've got countries like Spain and France who have gone so far left, that are so affected by the immigrants in their country that are Muslim, that they are now turning off their participation with us. We have bases there, like Rota, Spain, and they're saying you can't use these bases for this war or that war. Well, then what good is it to have our bases there? Because we need to be able to unilaterally use those bases, and if they're changing their minds midstream, then they're being a bad partner. And that I agree with. That doesn't mean you throw the baby out with the bathwater. That doesn't mean that we just get out of NATO. It means that we try to push France and Spain out of NATO instead of us leaving. You see what I mean? Okay. Thank you for being a new member. Appreciate that. Why is Trump acting like a coward with excuses? Why do frogs have pockets? You'd have to ask President Trump that. Next. Is it true that aircraft carriers can be vulnerable, but Israel is an unsinkable aircraft carrier that has a pro-American population that has the capability and willingness to fight with America? Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Next. There's one train of thought that the resumption of kinetic actions is just what the IRGC wants to solidify all Iranians and get them on the same page against the U.S. Is that possible? Yes, Iran hopes that additional kinetic action will galvanize the Iranian people around their current regime. And no, they are wrong about that. That's not going to work, because 90%, according to this guy inside Iran I was listening to last night, who was able to get on the internet somehow. According to him, 90% of the people in Iran want to see the regime gone. And so that 10%, if they make it 11 or 12%, not going to move the needle in terms of uniting the country or anything around the regime. Next. What do you think of Israel's smash scopes for taking out fiber optic drones? I think it's pretty awesome. They came up with a scope that you put on your rifle, and then you see a drone coming, you aim at the drone, the scope calculates the wind, the trajectory, the everything, where you need to fire, the exact point you need to fire at to hit that drone. And you pull the trigger, nothing happens, and you keep aiming, and when you're aimed at exactly the right position, then the gun goes off. That's pretty smart. That's pretty amazing. That's the kind of thing you're going to have to see, that you're going to see coming online in the next few years. It's not a reality yet, but they don't have it in production or anything, but it's definitely promising. Next. Do you think Trump gets stuck on phrases for the sake of difficult translations to other languages? No, I don't think that's why. I just think, I know a lot of politicians. If I were to go through my Rolodex, I probably have half a dozen senators, congressmen, etc. in my phone right now. And I talk to these guys on a regular basis. And when you're a politician, you pick your talking points and you stick with your talking points, and you try to pick ones that are effective, that galvanize your base, and that's just what you do as a politician. So I don't think it has anything to do with how easily it'll be translated. Next. What if finishing it requires boots on the ground? Well, then we put boots on the ground. I think it's worth doing. I think that America hamstrings itself if we are so risk averse that we will never put our troops in harm's way again. Nobody joins the military not to do anything. Nobody joins the military to guard a concrete block for the rest of your deployment. you join the military because you want to be on the side of the good guys and you want to take out the bad guys. And those are the kind of people that we will attract if we let them do their jobs. When I was a Ranger, I was in for more than 2 years, 2.5 years before I went to combat the first time. And all of that time, we did nothing but train. And it got to the point where, you know, we kind of trained on all the basic stuff to the point where we could do it in our sleep. And so they started having to go like, well, what don't they know how to do yet that we could teach them to do that might be helpful for them at some point? So they took us out and taught us to drive bulldozers and backhoes. They taught us to hot wire cars. They taught us to pick locks. They taught us to drive motorcycles and boats. And I mean, just teach us to do stuff. And make us more useful. It'd make me a very good criminal if I wanted to be. But we were starting to get to the point in the Rangers at that period of time where we were starting to say, we're spending all of our time training for the Super Bowl and we're never going to get to play. And that was a pretty depressing thought, honestly. So our troops want to get into the fight, and we ought to let them if the cause is just. And I think that this cause is just. There you go. Next, I have a question. Doesn't Trump have to get permission from Congress after 60 days? If he's at war with another country, would that be tie his hands in his ability to do what he wants to do? The War Powers Act stipulates that Congress has to have a declaration of war after 60 days. The president can, initiate military action, but it's got to be changed into a declaration of war after 60 days. The thing is, no president in the history of the War Powers Act has ever respected that, and they've all just continued doing what they want to do anyway. So I don't see what's stopping President Trump from, doing that. Next.
Thank you both.
What's your overall opinion of Marco Rubio? I think he's fantastic and will make a very good president. And I like President Trump, but I think Marco Rubio will be 3 times the president Trump is. Because he really knows what's going on, for one thing. And number 2, he knows how to be diplomatic. Next. Yeah, okay, we already got that one. Next. We already got the one for Oscar's trip. Thank you. Next. If you were president, what would you do about Iran? I would order the bombing to commence and let slip the dogs of war. And we would start pushing on every front. We would take out their critical infrastructure. We would start doing what we can to arm the militias. We would be assisting our Gulf partners and trying to get them into the fight as well. We would be trying to talk Saudi Arabia into invading Iran from the south just to keep their IRGC busy. We would be going 10 times harder than President Trump has gone to date. And I think if we do go back to fighting, it will be quite a bit more intense than it was the first time. Do you think that they should let the ships with the fertilizer through the blockade to prevent starvation later? No, it's not the United States that's stopping the fertilizer ships from going through. It's Iran. Iran is only letting ships through that pay it like $2 million, go through and register with them, and are not have no trace of ownership or anything to do with the United States or Israel, or now any of the Gulf states. And so most of those fertilizer ships don't meet that criteria, and so Iran is not letting them through. So, and the U.S. would gladly let them through if they could get out. That's why the U.S. is trying to establish that southern corridor. But making that safe has turned out to be a little harder than we thought. Next. Would you please pray for me before sign off? Kidney stones are, oh man, those are so painful. Getting to run around here at Spring Meadows Nursing and Rehab. Okay, Rich, we'll pray for you right now. Lord God, I pray that you would just touch Rich Brady, touch his kidneys, and just break up those kidney stones. I pray that you'd heal him, Lord, that you'd give him the medical care he needs, that you'd let him see your hand at work as things are improving for him, and that he would give you glory for that when it happens. In Jesus' name, amen.
That's a jury.
Okay.
About 120 names.
here, do you think that everything is falling apart? Do you think everything is falling into place? Right now, it appears things are kind of more closer to falling apart than falling into place. Next, do you think there are noteworthy targets left in Iran worth the expense? Absolutely. And many of them are the same targets we bombed before, and Iran's now had a month to repair them or dig them out. We're going to have to bomb those same targets again. There are targets that we bombed like a dozen times. We'd bomb a tunnel entrance, the Iranians would dig it out, we'd bomb it again, the Iranians would dig it out, we'd bomb it again, the Iranians would dig it out. This is going to be an ongoing problem unless we unseat the regime. Next, how unified are the various Kurdish factions? Not unified at all. They're not unified. No. Next, Trump said we get our oil from somewhere, I can't remember a country, in Europe. So if that's the case, why are our gas prices high? No, we don't get our oil from somewhere in Europe, we get our oil from the United States. We are a net exporter of oil. But our gas prices are high because the world market sets the prices. And I keep having to cover this, and I don't know why this is so hard to understand, that if you were the oil company, these are private companies, they're not government companies. So if you're an oil company and you could sell your oil for $200 a barrel outside the United States or $100 a barrel inside the United States, where are you going to sell your oil? You're not going to take a 50% haircut just to sell it in the United States. And the government making you do that is called communism. So we don't want that. That's why. Next. Why is Russia eating Iran if aiding Iran if Russia can't even spare any extra equipment because they're bogged down in Ukraine? If there's one thing they can spare, it's drones. And this fiber optic drone technology is something that they have worked hard on, and they're using. It's one of the more effective things they're using in Ukraine. And so they can make an effort to look like they're assisting Iran by sending them some of these drones, and it's not going to hurt them too much. But they're not going to be sending them tanks, planes, anything like that, because they need all that stuff in Ukraine. Next, when is the 60 days up? About a week ago, it was up. 60 days was up, and that's why they declared a ceasefire. I'm sorry, a month ago now. That was April 7th. When they declared the ceasefire. So we declared the ceasefire on day 60. And now they're saying, well, yeah, this is a ceasefire. This is what a ceasefire looks like. People bombing each other left and right. Everybody bombing everybody. Yeah, that's a ceasefire. Yeah. I mean, like, it's almost like they're saying, don't believe your lying eyes here. Right? Okay, last but not least, both JD and Marcos should and will be president. I guess we'll wait and see. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate the $4.99. All right, folks, don't forget to go to chuckholton.com if you want to support this channel. This is how it works nowadays. You cut the cable, you're saving $200 a month on your cable bill, and instead you go find a few independent producers on the internet, and you support them directly. So for just buying me a expensive coffee every month, you get extra content, you get copies of my books, you get copies of my documentaries to watch, you get early access to some of our videos. I've got this new book that just came out 2 days ago called Red Teams. Red Teams, Ready Every Day. And it's the subtitle is Building Brotherhood, Preparing Communities, and Building the Church America Desperately Needs. So it's for churchgoers, especially men, and I think you will really like that book. So pick that up. You can get it anywhere books are sold, and I may be selling a few signed copies next week when I get back to the United States. Brandy Coleman, please pray for my husband who is in Ukraine fighting for their freedom. Pray that God brings him home safely to us. Okay, well, let's do that. Lord, I just pray right now for Ukraine, and I ask that you would thwart the plans of evil men and stop them from killing more people in Ukraine. I pray that this war would end and that everybody could go home and go back to their lives. I pray that Russia would lose and that they would never be able to threaten their neighbors again. And Father, I just pray that, not that you would be on our side, but that we would be on your side, and that you would do your will in this situation. Please protect Brandy's husband and bring him home safely to her. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, thank you very much for watching the Hot Zone, folks. Appreciate all of you. We will see you again next time. Bye-bye.
One Hershey's double chocolate flavor, made with Hershey's cocoa. As good as it looks.
Self-produced it.
If your building or remodeling project includes new windows and doors, it's time to bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company, where you'll find trusted brands like Anderson. Anderson is the #1 trusted window and door brand. Your Hammond sales rep can arrange for a free in-home consultation for measurements, and Hammond offers statewide delivery with professional service.
Your skin's visible biological age, the only age you can reverse. Absolute longevity MD. Now
Get up to 50% off gifts for Mom and Michaels. Save on floral, frames for her favorites, and...
Hey, Rick. I'm all right, I think.
Are you sure?
Nothing's busted about me, mister. It's just my box busted, that's all.
Oh, here. Here, buy yourself a new box.
Thank you, sir.
You might have been killed. Next time, look before you try to cross the street.
You and I both lucky I got it next time, sir.
I made a strawberry banana chocolate one. It's really good. I was gonna do a slushie and I went with a smoothie. Yeah, go figure. Really good. I just use a half a banana because I make it. Yeah. 5 big strawberries, a half a banana. I like to use the frozen strawberries. It makes it colder.
Has the jury reached a verdict? We have, Your Honor. What is your verdict? We find the defendant, William Weber, not guilty.
Well, the protein shake is chocolate, but I like to add a little bit of that. Yeah, the chocolate powder with the avocado.
Quiet, please. No talking.
Which one?
Court is still in session and will remain orderly until I adjourn it. May I inquire how you reached this verdict? We were unanimous in finding for the defendant, Your Honor. In my opinion, there was more than a little room for doubt. Is it possible not one of you shared it? No, Your Honor. Never in 15 years on the bench have I rendered an opinion without keeping my own fallibility in mind. The defense was indeed fortunate to have secured so strong-minded a jury. It is discharged without thanks or commendation. Court adjourned.
But don't you admit it was a surprising verdict on the basis of the evidence presented during the trial?
Certainly not. Nobody proved young Weber was drunk. It was a tragic accident, nothing more. It might happen to anyone. Why, only the day before yesterday, right in front of this building, it almost happened to me.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Oh,
What a joke, huh? And what have we been saying about the sickos around here? The telepathy stuff, protecting these sick punks. And they're talking to the kids with their brains. You know, literally Rogan just posted something, observing possible telepathy in non-verbal autistic children. Yeah, and you look at the money and funding they got for that stuff. Sick and disgusting what's been going on here for years, and the fact that they even got away with doing that after what people had already been through. A lot of the survivors and stuff being targeted while these fucks play their games with their activist friends. Yeah, it's pretty sick. And when you look at, it's interesting, some of these children, they're studying heavily connected to the drug traffickers and child porn. Think about it. Fucking think about it. Child and animal abuse and porn. Yeah, so hopefully, we've been doing this for years. Yeah, I really hope that the proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine do what they're supposed to do to help these children.
No? What did you boys use on that jury? Hypnotism? Trade secret. Here's to trade secrets. And to a pleasant, long-lasting association. May it prove to be mutually profitable. What's mutual about my giving you a percentage of our
Hey,
gross?
how's it going?
There's no retainer big enough for what you're buying.
It
After all, you can't
is
expect me to be available at any hour of the day or
1:14
night.
in the
To
afternoon
fix or
here.
spring a hood or square a bead for. I'll expect more service than that for a piece of the take. I'm sure it isn't necessary for us to discuss the obvious now.
Yes, I
thought we
can.
understood
Can you
each
hear
other
me?
clearly the first time I came in to see you. 2 for the price of 1. That's what I'm buying. Again, Harry, I didn't say it. And I'd appreciate it very
So
much
in other
if you
words, you're
mentioned
hearing
anything about my
voices?
secretary. You know it.
Let me check a box.
Have you proved them?
They're in order.
You might prefer to look it over first before you sign. No, I'll buy it. Just hand me a pen.
Well, the telepathy stuff, how people with hypersensitivities being more sensitive to those frequencies all plays into these studies that we've been talking about.
We'll get along all right. Good night, Summers. Good night, Harry.
Right, so someone is going to feel that autistic children have
Thank you very much for staying.
more sensitivities or are more in tune to those things. Because one, they're nonverbal. They can't talk and give you their opinion or tell you what a piece of shit you are. So it really, right? I mean, they can almost, right? And they can fuck with them too, you know, and when you see the funding they've been getting here
But the last page of this calls for
and in other
exclusive
places for these things and what they did back in 2008, between 2008 and 12. Yeah, people need to acknowledge what the fuck's going on here. So yeah, it's very common for people to
I make the decisions around here.
say that those who are nicer or quieter or less verbal have more telepathy. Everybody has these capabilities. It's just people who make the reports and say this or that and get the funding to do these studies have a tendency to feel that more with autistic children, right? No, and when you start looking into some of these abuse cases and what's going on here with our children, my name's Mary, and we're at the Governor Hill Mansion in Augusta, Maine, and I have 4 children here. The sick fuck who has custody of my children, Michael Scott Gorea, and him and his sick mother. What's been happening here needs to be addressed. The private investigator in 2009 who shot himself tried telling him. Yeah, and then you have these punks and idiots and marketers and ghost and alien hunters, Skinwalker Ranch bullshit going around selling their fucking vitamins and doing their fucking bullshit. Scouting and touting and hazing and investigations and oh yeah, I know, testing people, Havana syndrome, that's what it is. It's fake, MK Ultra. Wake the fuck up. We know what the fuck's going on here, and we tried telling you. How many times? Yeah, 2013. 2013. 2013. Yeah, wake the fuck up. If you're not already. Any proper authorities listening, you should be bypassing these citizens to help these kids as opposed to coddling fucking adults within and out of the system that are getting a lot of funding. A lot of donations. Some don't get shit, right? But for some, it's just as long as they don't have to talk about it and it covers up some of the other stuff they've done. That's why these punks target the people they do. So anyways, my name's Mary. We're at the Governor Hill Mansion in Augusta, Maine. If anybody has any other questions, comments, or concerns or suggestions as to how we can help these children and bypass the dumb fucking monkey citizens around here who don't want to acknowledge the facts, that'd be great. Because our proper authorities haven't been doing that. We got dumb fucks within those systems that have been protecting their druggy fucking slut friends. Yeah, nasty fucking slugs and sluts for years. And they moved to Florida, Texas, California. This has gone on for years. Some move out of the country.
My husband was murdered.
Yeah, they like Australia and the UK, don't they? So anyways, it's not a fucking secret. These are old fucking playbooks. This shit's been going on since I was a kid. And before. Right, so we're concerned about the children right here and now. My youngest 2 that are in the custody of this sick fuck. him and his mother. The abuse is already done. The child and animal pornography and abuse has already been made and fed to you guys. That's how we got some of your attention. Wake up. You should be more concerned about the children than the fucking dogs and your drugs, but apparently that's how people are, and you can't blame them, right? They're only human. So we have forgiveness, love, and understanding for that, and just do the best we can to keep speaking out and hope that it reaches the ears of people who aren't pinned, who won't lose their jobs or licenses, who won't lose their YouTube channels or get demonetized or get kicked out of the cool club or have their wives and daughters make them sleep on the couch and say, how could you? How could you? Listen to those witches. Right? Even if they just want to talk about the vaccines or some of these handful of issues. I know, that's what we've been trying to tell you. All right, you take care. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you so much. All right.